Hi everyone, Empire Build Academy, it's Fabian, and today's video is all about research. So if you've just started playing Evony and you don't really know what the research is all about, then this video is definitely for you. In the beginner research guide, I'll show you exactly what to research, what to ignore, and also how to grow faster without wasting resources or speed ups. So let's go straight over to the game now, and this is the PC screen. So if you're thinking it's a little bit different, that is the reason why. There are two academies in Evony. The first one is this one over here. This is your standard academy that you will be doing most of your research, especially if you're free to play. The next one I'm going to show you, the military academy. That is something that takes quite a while to reach, and if you are free to play, it's going to be very tough for you to do much in there. There's quite a few things that are needed, and that makes it quite difficult in reference to that. This is what it looks like when we first go into it. These are what you call trees that you can see going across the top there, and just shouting these out: advancement, defense, military, medical aid, alliance, subordinate city, recovery, military advance, defense advance. And the last two I'm not going to mention. You can see that actually I have these on 0 as well, and again, that is because if we go all the way to the top and have a look at the requirement, you can see Academy level 41 is required before being able to do that research. And just to give you an idea, to get to level 41 Academy, you would need your keep to be 41. I'm not even keep 40, and just to show you the requirements for keep 40, I'd need 55 billion, 60 billion of each of the resources just to go to city or keep 40. So you can appreciate getting to keep 41 is going to be very, very difficult. I don't think I'll ever see it personally myself. So again, going back into here and having a look at all the trees, these upgrades help with building faster, training troops faster, and also making your army stronger. One of the things you do need to be aware of is you can't undo research. So once you've gone into it, you can cancel a research that is going on, but you can't undo it. So once it's done, there's some games where you can take the resources back, maybe even a bit on the old speed ups, but Evony is not one of them games. You can't do that with this one. So the first thing that we're going to have a look at is the advancement tab, which is this one here with my dodgy circle. And what I would say at the beginning, as a beginner, almost all of your research focus should be in the advancement tab. And if we go right to the top here, you can see one of the first things you unlock is a building slot, which gives you the potential to purchase 2 slots to aid you in building. So at the moment you only get 1 when you first start. Research this and then you will have the opportunity to purchase 2 more builder slots via gems. So the first things that you should be considering to research is your construction, your research, and also troop training, and finally march size. Those are the most important things that you should be concentrating on at the beginning, and these upgrades will help you advance further in the game. So you can see we've got the construction one here. That is one you would want to concentrate on. The next one would be your typography or your research. So this is this one here, and just to show you the kind of buffs you get in there, completing that 20 out of 20 will give you a research buff of 70%, which you can appreciate is going to make a big difference further down the line. Construction speed, this is advanced construction. There was one earlier as well, but again, if you are maxing these out, it's going to save you on speed ups in the long run as well. So that's why you should be concentrating on that. And for march size, I did say march size is important. That you will find this under the military tab, and when we go into there, just scroll all the way down, you can see formation unlocks an additional march slot. That would be something that I would consider doing at the beginning. You can use this for gathering, you can use this for joining in monster rallies that are being set by your alliance. But the march size one that I was talking about, this will come under coordination to start with, and you can see this increases march size by 10,000 once that is all done. Underneath that, we've got advanced dispatch for an additional march slot as well. Advancement, again going back over to here, you would want to be doing everything that you physically can in here. After doing the typography in the research in here, you want to get as much of that typography done as possible, and it will be restricted based on academy level, but every time you upgrade that academy level, getting this part done, the typography, so that research is not costing you too much in reference speed ups, is very important. You will also get other things in here, including march speed for gathering. You will also have things like single troop load that will increase in there as well as gathering speed and also resource production. So again, advancement tab, Very important. Concentrate on those things that I said at the beginning. The things that you do not need to concentrate on at the beginning, as you don't really need the strong defenses at the beginning, and especially if your server is one that's going to concentrate on server versus server battles ahead. So I would say avoid research on trap attack, trap HP, and also wall upgrades. And the fact that you'll be using bubbles mainly for protection, it's definitely something that you'll hear a lot, using your bubbles. On my old account, I'm 2 years in and I'm still using that daily bubble. It's just something you get into the habit of doing. So those researches on the defense are not massively important at the beginning. Also avoid heavy military research. So that's this tab here at the beginning. Of course, you are going to do it further down the line, but your troops will be mainly used for gathering and monster hunting. And as such, concentrating too much on the military is just really a waste of resources, and also speed ups that you can be using on other things that are far more important at the beginning. Again, you do not need to be high on attack research, on HP, things like that. You can just leave that until the time is right. And like I said at the beginning, advancement is where you need to focus your attention. And in my opinion, you should only really be doing the military research when the game forces you to. So for things like troop unlocks, required research to upgrade your academy, these kind of things, if you actually are forced by the game to do it, then of course go ahead and do it. But otherwise, stay clear. Continue with that advancement tab for now. Again, do not try to make your army powerful yet. That comes later on in the game. Another thing to be aware of as well is how to research faster. And this is, again, always important, these things. Then a few beginner tips are to use your research buffs, which can be found in a few places, but your monarch talents on the second one across from the top. So this one here, you will see research speed, construction speed, etc. So making sure that you have that in place is going to be very important. Another place you can also get research buffs from, although this is probably not going to be something you're doing early game, but just to mention it anyway, is in civilization treasure. You can see I'm currently on gathering speed with my one. You can see the research speed in this one is 24%. As I said, it's not something you're going to use at the beginning, but I just want to make you aware that the further you go on the game, the longer you play, this will be an additional tab, additional area that you would switch that research on. Also as well, I do think alliance helps are very important. So going into your alliance tab and making sure that you get the alliance help times down, as well as the number of alliance helps as well. You can see we've got one there. That gives an additional 10 helps. So concentrating within the alliance, we've not gone too deep on it, but certainly those early ones, those alliance help amounts and those alliance help times are also going to aid in reducing how long the different researches take. So again, set your monarch talents. Civilization treasure does come later, but it's a place that you can add. And then of course making sure that you are using and utilizing all the alliance helps that you can for that research that you are doing. And now moving on, you can see we've got all these different tabs in here, and it's very tempting to jump into things like military's the classic. I'll use that as the example. But beginner mistakes are researching everything evenly. Again, concentrate on that advancement. Concentrate on getting your march size up in military, going across to alliance, getting your alliance helps, and getting those alliance help times increased. That is where you want to be focusing your time. Another issue that people tend to have, or another beginner mistake, is spending speed ups too early. If you are doing things in the right way and you're getting all those buffs, then hopefully you will not be needing to use too much in terms of your research buffs. Of course, some of them are long, and if they are going to be 10 hours plus or anything like that, then consider putting those researches on overnight so that you can come back to them in the morning and again use less researchers. The other thing to be aware of as well is making sure that you are doing your research when it is actually research events. So not sure what I am on in this one, but you can see we've got a server monarch competition. City development is the current one that's going on. And if I go into the city development, you can see research power, increase your research power by 1 is going to get me an additional 50 points. So that is where I would be focusing my research. I'd be doing research today. I wouldn't be doing it tomorrow, because tomorrow won't be city development, and I wouldn't be aiding this part here where there are additional rewards that can be won. Another beginner mistake without a doubt is ignoring the advancement tab. I've seen quite a few people ignore this. They sort of want to jump into defense. They want to make sure they're strong and being able to withhold attacks. They're also wanting to make sure that they are strong in the attack. But this is definitely a mistake, and definitely if you are free to play, this is something that I definitely wouldn't advise. And also alongside that, fighting other people too early is another thing that is going to cost you, because you're going to be spending on resources, rebuilding troops, all these kind of different things that can be used and saved for researching better. So again, just to talk about these other ones very quickly. So we know what defense and military is. It's pretty self-explanatory. Medical, this is where you would increase your hospital capacities, as well as reducing speed time for healing, including resources as well. You can see here we can increase the death turning wounded rate of mounted troops when they are attacking. So that is another thing that can be done in there. And again, right at the top, increases hospital capacity, all these kind of things here. That is all things in relation to healing troops and the cost that it takes in both speed ups and resources. That's what you would find in here. Alliance, we've already had a brief look at it. This is where you find your alliance helps, transportation, that kind of thing in here, as well as increasing gathering speed for alliance resources. And you can see there as well, reinforcing ground troop attack. So this will come much later down the line, because you're not really going to be reinforcing at the beginning, but just making you aware that reinforcing ground troop attack, reinforcing troop attack is available under there. Subordinate cities, this is where you get additional cities to come and help you in defense and attack. There are various different buffs in there, but again, at the beginning you wouldn't be doing this, but you can increase many different things in here, including debuffs, gold, production, those kind of things. So just having a look at the different ones and seeing what that is all about. It says increase the construction speed of buildings in subordinate city. They don't really do much in reference to them being built so high. Of course, you're going to do it, but again, you can work your way down here and choose which ones are more important within subordinate city recovery. This is like an additional arm to the hospital. Let's just say you have a hospital capacity of 10,000, but in a defense, 15,000 were injured or killed. 10,000 would go to the hospital, 5,000 would go to recovery stroke death. And this is where you would be reducing all the costs for that in relation to those deaths. So things like reducing the resource consumption of reviving ranged troops in Holy Palace, 20 out of 20 is giving me 6%. Military advance and defense, again, this is going to be an additional arm to the beginning ones, the military and defense. Just going in more detail, again, increasing march size, again, increasing attack buffs, defense buffs, those kind of things. But again, you really don't want to be doing that. You should be at a stage where if you are on these final two tabs here, that you should already have the majority of your advancement tab done. That is what I would be saying. Again, if there's one thing I can say from this video, advancement tab is going to save you so much. And because Evony is definitely one of those games that's a long-term game, and what I mean by that is it goes server versus server, and because of that, a lot of people do tend to play this game 2 years into an account, 3 years. There's obviously people a lot longer than that, but because of that, having everything reduced as much as you possibly can in reference speed ups and resources is going to be important. The last one that we're going to have a look at, I'll just jump into there very quickly, is the military academy. This is one of those that's actually quite difficult to upgrade. You can see I am military academy level 4. To go up to military academy level 5, I will need level 40 keep. It's very expensive to get a level 40 keep, so that is not something that's going to happen anytime soon. And again, when I go into the military academy, you'll see more research, but this is actually geared more to the specific troop type. So we've got ground, mounted, ranged and siege. Then we also do have some melee and long range formation as well, but you can see melee is actually lots. Let's go and have a look at this, and it's because I need a level 6 military academy. I'm assuming, I think that's going to be in a level 42 keep. It's not something I'm going to see anytime soon, so it's only those 4 tabs if you do get here. And again, it will take you quite some time to get here. But if we have a look at ground troop formation, increases ground troop HP by 40% when attacking. There's a lot of attacking buffs. And also we have this special one that pops up after every few, this one here. And when we click into that, you again can see these are decent buffs, stronger buffs, but will cost a lot in materials. And when I say materials, let's go and use one as an example down here that I haven't done yet. This one here, Swiss Pike Square. You can see not only do I need gold, which is very expensive in the military academy, but I would also need tactic scrolls as well, so just be aware of that. But for the beginner on Evony who is playing this, the following those tips that I mentioned is definitely going to help you. Another thing that I will say, which goes hand in hand with anything on Evony, is making sure that you are bubbled often, making sure that you are adding your bubble every single day. I literally go into this little icon at the top left on my PC. I think it's the same on the phone as well, and I'll click into there. This is literally the end of day for me. I will be going in there, I'll be clicking on my truce, and you can see for the long game we get so many of them that there really is no excuse not to be doing that, and that is going to save you in the long run. So that is it for this simple Evony beginner research guide. Remember, I will be adding all of these guides to the website empirebuildacademy.com. You can go to the guides there, you can go to Evony, doing work on this as we speak, and I've got all the different parts of the 9-step plan. But research guide, this will be added within this section. It's not there at the moment, but I will do that within the next couple of days, and then you will be able to use this as a go-to for anything that you may have missed. So if this video did help you, then it would be great if you could like the video, comment your keep level, and also subscribe for more Evony guides, as well as, of course, other games that I'm going to get into. I really do appreciate all the support that's being given so far to the channel. Really appreciate it. And I will see you in another Evony video very, very soon. Thanks for watching.